5 words ended 40 years. Not shouted, not screamed, delivered in that tired, quiet voice daughters use when they've made up their minds. Don't come anymore, Mom. Please. I stood there in the market, phone pressed to my ear, watching my reflection in Mr. Kim's fish display case. 72 years old, gray hair escaping from my work scarf, hands still smelling of garlic and ginger from the morning's prep. The line went dead before I could answer. 3 months now since I've seen my grandson. People ask me, what did you do? Like there must be something. A fight, a betrayal, some dramatic breaking point, where mother and daughter threw dishes and swore never to speak again. But that's not how it works, is it? Not in real life. Real life is quieter than that. More cruel. The distance grew so slowly I didn't notice until it was too far to cross. First, my daughter stopped answering my calls right away. Then the visits became, maybe next week, Mom, we're so busy. Then the excuses stopped having details. Something came up, not a good time. We'll let you know. And then, finally, this morning's call. The call I made from the market during my lunch break. Sitting on an overturned crate behind the stalls, trying one more time. Don't come anymore, Mom. Please. My daughter's voice wasn't angry. That might have been easier to bear. Anger burns itself out eventually, leaves room for forgiveness. No, her voice was simply done, finished, the way you sound when you've finally made a decision you've been avoiding for months. I wanted to ask why. Wanted to demand, to plead, to remind her of every sacrifice, every midnight fever I nursed her through, every meal I skipped so she could eat. But I didn't, because somewhere deep inside, in that place where mothers store their unnamed fears, I already knew I had become a burden. The phone went dead. I sat there on that crate, surrounded by the smell of fresh fish and fermenting kimchi, while the market hummed around me. Mrs. Park arguing with a customer about the price of radishes. Young delivery men loading trucks with tomorrow's produce. Life continuing as if the world hadn't just shifted under my feet. I put the phone in my apron pocket, stood up, went back to work, because that's what you do, isn't it? When you're 72 years old and the person you gave your life to has asked you to disappear from theirs. You go back to work. I didn't know then that the phone call was being recorded, or that 3 months from now, I'd be sitting in a police station, listening to my own voice played back to me as evidence, or that the words, "Don't come anymore, Mom," would mean something entirely different from what I thought. But that comes later. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Wishing you a wonderful day. They say you can't understand your mother until you become one yourself. My daughter has been a mother for 6 years now. I thought, surely, now she would understand. Understand the fear that lives in your chest from the moment they're born, the fear that never leaves. Understand why I still worry when she doesn't answer her phone, why I still check the weather in her neighborhood, why I keep bags of her favorite snacks in my apartment even though she never visits. But maybe some things don't translate across generations. Or maybe I failed to teach her the language of it. I was 22 when she was born. Her father had just left for a construction job in Saudi Arabia, promising to send money. The money came, sporadically, for 3 years. Then it stopped. Then he stopped. I never told her that. Never told her how I cried every night for a month, then dried my tears and never cried about him again. Because crying doesn't feed a child. Crying doesn't pay rent. The market became my life. Starting at 4 a.m., before the sun rose, setting up my vegetable stall. The good spots were already taken by then. I was new, without connections, without family backing. I got the corner near the bathroom, where customers had to smell sewage along with my cucumbers. But I made it work. I learned every customer's name. Remembered who liked their green onions thick and who wanted them thin. Gave extra to the elderly. Smiled until my face hurt. Slowly, month by month, year by year, I built trust. Built a reputation. By the time my daughter was in elementary school, I had moved to a better spot. Not the best that would take another decade, but better. We moved from a basement room to a second-floor apartment with actual windows. I could afford new school shoes instead of hand-me-downs. I thought she would remember this. The progression, the slow climb from nothing to something. But children don't see that, do they? They see what is, not what was. She saw a mother who always smelled like vegetables, who came to school meetings in work clothes because there was no time to change, who fell asleep during dinner, exhausted, head nodding over rice and banchan. When she got into University Seoul National University, my pride, my entire world, I sold my market stall. The one I had built for 20 years. Sold it to finance her education, moved back to a smaller apartment, took a job as a cleaner in an office building. She told me not to. Mom, I'll take out loans. Don't sell the stall. It's your whole life. But what did she know about a mother's calculations? The stall was my past. She was my future. The math was simple. 4 years of university, then her job at a good company, then her marriage to a man from a good family, then my grandson. Finally, I thought, finally, I can rest in the knowledge that I did right. That my daughter has everything I never had. Security, respect, a husband who won't leave. I bought my grandson a gold ring when he was born, the traditional way. Spent 3 months' salary on it. Her husband's family raised their eyebrows. Apparently, it wasn't expensive enough. But it was from my heart, from my hands that had worked for 50 years. The visits started well. Every Sunday, I would take the bus to their apartment in Gangnam. 2 hours each way. Bring side dishes I'd prepared. My daughter always said she was too busy to cook properly. Hold my grandson while she rested. Clean their kitchen while they were sleeping. You don't have to do all this, Mom, she would say. But what else would I do? This is what mothers do. We give. It's the only language we know. The first time she asked me not to come, it was gentle. Mom, maybe every other week? We need some time to adjust to our routine. Fine. Every other week. Then it became once a month. Then it became, we'll call you when it's a good time. Then it became text messages that took days to answer. And then, this morning, standing in the market with fish scales on my apron and Mr. Kim watching me with pity in his eyes. Don't come anymore, Mom. Please. I don't sleep that night. I lie in my small apartment. I moved back to the market area after she got married, back to where I started, full circle, staring at the ceiling. The ceiling has a crack that runs from the corner to the light fixture. I've watched that crack grow wider over the years, like the distance between my daughter and me. At 3 a.m., I get up, make myself tea, look at the photos on my wall. There she is at 3 years old, missing her front teeth, grinning at the camera. There at graduation, in her cap and gown, me standing beside her in my best dress that was still obviously too cheap for the occasion. There at her wedding, looking so beautiful I cried through the entire ceremony. There, most recent, is my grandson. 6 months old in this picture. The last time I held him. He's 6 years old now. I've missed 6 years. No more accurate to say I've been denied 6 years. I don't know yet that my daughter hasn't been answering my calls because she's afraid. Not of me, for me, but I'll learn that soon enough. In a police station, under fluorescent lights, surrounded by strangers who somehow know more about my life than I do. A week passes. I go to work, come home, eat dinner, sleep, wake up, repeat. This is what grief looks like at 72. No dramatic crying, no breaking dishes, just the mechanical performance of life while the life inside you has gone dark. Mrs. Park from the fish stall asks if I'm feeling well. You look thin, she says. Are you eating? I smile, tell her I'm fine, go back to arranging cucumbers in perfect rows, as if symmetry can bring order to chaos. It's Saturday morning when I make the decision. I'm going to her apartment. Not to yell, not to demand, just to see, to understand, to look my daughter in the eyes and ask her, plainly, what I did wrong. Because that's the thing that's eating me alive. The not knowing. If I was cruel, tell me. If I was overbearing, demanding, if I suffocated her with my love, tell me. Let me apologize. Let me fix it. But this silence? This exile without explanation? I can't live with it. I take the bus. The same route I used to take every Sunday. 2 hours, 3 transfers. I watch Seoul pass by the windows, the city my daughter lives in now, the city that accepted her but never quite accepted me. I'm still market folk, still rough-handed, rough-spoken, wearing clothes from the discount rack. She's become polished, soft-spoken, expensive. The gap between us isn't just emotional. It's class. It's education. It's the very success I worked my entire life to give her. Her apartment building has a security guard. He stops me at the entrance. Who are you visiting? I give my daughter's name. Unit 1504. He checks his computer, picks up the phone, calls up. I wait. He listens, nods, hangs up. I'm sorry, grandmother. They say you're not on the approved visitor list. Not on the approved visitor list. My own daughter's home. I'm not on the approved visitor list. There must be a mistake, I say. My voice sounds strange, high and thin. I'm her mother. I understand, grandmother, but I can only follow the residence's instructions. They've said very clearly, he checks his computer again, that you are not to be admitted to the building. The words hang in the air between us. Not to be admitted, like I'm dangerous, like I'm a threat. Can you call again? I ask. Please, just tell her I'm here. I won't stay long. I just need to talk to her. The guard looks uncomfortable. He's young, maybe 30. Old enough to have a mother himself. I'm sorry, he says again. I really can't. I stand there in the lobby. This building with its marble floors and its abstract art on the walls and its smell of expensive air freshener. So different from the market, from my world, from anything I've ever known. When did she? I start to ask, then stop. What does it matter when she put me on the banned list? She did it. That's enough. I turn to leave. Grandmother, the guard calls after me. His voice is softer now. Sympathetic. Maybe give it some time? Family arguments, they pass. I'm sure she'll change her mind. I don't correct him. Don't tell him there was no argument. No fight. No single moment that would explain this. Just a slow fade. A gradual erasing. Until I became someone who needs to be kept out. I don't go home. I can't. Not yet. Not with this feeling in my chest. This mixture of rage and grief and disbelief that makes it hard to breathe. I walk instead. Walk through Gangnam streets where everything costs more than my monthly rent. Past cafes with $10 coffee and boutiques with $100 t-shirts and restaurants. Where a single meal costs what I used to spend to feed my daughter for a week. This is the world she lives in now. No wonder I don't fit. I find myself at a playground. Saturday afternoon, it's full of families. Young mothers watching their children on the swings. Fathers pushing strollers. Grandparents, well-dressed grandparents, not like me sitting on benches, holding juice boxes and crackers, ready to tend to their grandchildren's needs. I sit on a bench far from the others. Watch a little boy, maybe 6 years old, same age as my grandson. He's building something in the sandbox. Concentrating intensely, tongue between his teeth the way children do when they're focused. His grandmother, I can tell by the way she watches him, that particular quality of attention calls out, Ji-hoon-ah. Be careful, don't get sand in your eyes. The boy ignores her cheerfully. Keeps building. She walks over, kneels beside him in the sand, brushes his hair back from his forehead. What are you making, sweetheart? A castle for dragons. Oh, how wonderful. Should we add a moat? I watch them. Watch this ordinary moment. This moment I've been denied. And something breaks inside me. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just a quiet crack, like ice giving way. I take out my phone. Open the messaging app. Type. I came to your apartment today. The guard wouldn't let me up. You put me on a banned list. Stare at the message. Add. I need to know why. Please. I'm your mother. Whatever I did, let me fix it. My finger hovers over the send button. Then I think, what if she doesn't answer? What if she blocks me? At least now, I can still text her. Even if she doesn't respond, I can still send messages into the void, pretend she might read them someday. If I push her now, demand answers, I might lose even that small connection. I delete the message. Type instead, I love you. I love him. That's all. Send it. Watch the little check mark appear. Message delivered, but not read. Never read anymore. I'm putting my phone away when someone sits down beside me on the bench. A young man, maybe 35, 40. Well dressed in casual clothes that somehow still look expensive. He's holding 2 coffee cups. You look like you could use this, he says, offering one to me. I blink at him. I don't need. I insist. I bought 2 by accident anyway. He smiles. It's a kind smile, the kind that reaches his eyes. I take the coffee, suspicious but too tired to refuse. We sit in silence for a moment, watching the children play. Then he says, quietly, I saw you watching that little boy. And I saw your face. My hands tighten around the cup. I'm not some strange old woman stalking children. I was just, I know, he says. You're missing your grandchild. I turn to look at him. How did you? I'm a family lawyer, he says. I've seen that look before. Many times. A lawyer. Something in my chest tightens. Lawyers mean official things, legal things, things I can't afford and don't understand. I can't pay for legal help, I say quickly. Whatever you think I need, I can't afford it. He laughs softly. I'm not trying to sell you my services. I saw you, and I thought you might need someone to talk to. Why would you care? He's quiet for a moment. Then, 25 years ago, there was an old woman who ran a vegetable stall at Guangzhou Market. My mother had just died, my father was useless with grief, and I was 14 years old trying to figure out how to feed myself and my younger sister. My breath catches. This old woman, she noticed me buying the same things every day, the cheapest vegetables, the ones that were starting to spoil. One day, she gave me a bag of fresh vegetables. I tried to refuse. She said, take them. Bring them back next week if you want to pay me back. I did. And she did it again. Every week for 2 years, until my father finally got back on his feet. He looks at me. I've been looking for that woman for years. To thank her, I became a lawyer specifically to help families like mine, like hers. But I never found her. My throat is tight. What was her name? I don't remember. I was 14 and stupid. But I remember her face. And I remember thinking, when I grow up, I'll help people like her. People who are kind even when they have nothing. He reaches into his jacket, pulls out a business card. My name is Young Minwoo. I specialize in family law, grandparents' rights, custody mediation, that sort of thing. He puts the card in my hand. Whatever's happening with your grandchild, you don't have to face it alone. And you don't have to pay me. Consider it payment to that old woman I never got to thank. I stare at the card. Young Minwoo, attorney at law. I don't even know what my legal options are, I whisper. I don't know if there's anything. There might be, there might not be, but you deserve to know. You deserve someone in your corner. He stands up. Think about it. My office number is on the card. If you decide you want to talk, really talk, about what's happening and what you can do, call me. He walks away before I can respond. I sit there, holding the business card in one hand and the coffee in the other. A lawyer. Someone offering to help. It feels like a trap. Like if I accept this help, I'll be crossing some invisible line, escalating this from a family matter to a legal matter. But what choice do I have? My daughter won't talk to me. Won't let me see my grandson. Has banned me from her building like I'm a stranger. What's left except legal options? I don't call him that day. Or the next. But I keep his card. And 3 days later, when the police knock on my door, I'll be very glad I did. 3 days after the playground. I'm at the market, working my usual shift, when my phone rings. Unknown number. I almost don't answer, probably a telemarketer, someone trying to sell me insurance or phone plans I don't need. But something makes me pick up. Is this Mrs. Song Myung-hee? A woman's voice. Official sounding. Yes, this is she. This is the Gangnam police station. We need you to come in for questioning regarding a complaint filed against you. The words don't make sense at first. They're in Korean, I understand them individually, but together they form something impossible. A complaint? Against me? Yes, ma'am. Filed by your daughter, Mrs. Park Soo-jin, regarding harassment and violation of a no-contact order. The world tilts. I went to her apartment once. I didn't even get inside. Ma'am, we can discuss the details when you come in. Can you be here by 2 p.m. today? Can I be there? As if I have a choice. Yes, I hear myself say. I'll be there. The line goes dead. I stand there in the market, phone in my hand, while around me life continues. Mrs. Park haggling with a customer. Mr. Kim filleting fish. The hum and buzz of commerce, of normality, while my world falls apart piece by piece. My daughter called the police. On me. Her mother. I find the business card in my wallet. Young Minwoo, attorney at law. My hands shake as I dial. He answers on the second ring. Young Minwoo speaking. This is, my voice cracks. I clear my throat. This is the woman from the playground. 3 days ago. You gave me your card. Yes, I remember. Is everything all right? The police called. They want me to come in for questioning. My daughter, she filed a complaint, they said harassment, something about a no-contact order that I never knew existed. Slow down. Breathe. His voice is calm. Professional. Where are you now? At the market. Gwangjang Market. Can you come to my office? Before you go to the police station, I need to talk to you. Understand what's happening. If you go in alone without knowing your rights. I don't have money for a lawyer. I told you. You don't need money. Just come to my office. I'll text you the address. Come now, before your appointment with the police. Why are you helping me? He's quiet for a moment. Because that old woman at the market saved my life when I was 14. And I never got to repay her. Let me repay her through you. Young Minwoo's office is in Gangnam, near the courthouse. Small but professional. Bookshelves lined with legal texts. A desk organized but not obsessively so. He offers me water, which I decline, and tea, which I accept because my hands need something to hold. Tell me everything, he says. From the beginning. So I do. I tell him about the gradual distancing. The phone calls that went unanswered. The Sunday visits that became monthly visits that became no visits. The final phone call, don't come anymore, Mom. I tell him about going to her apartment. The security guard turning me away. The banned list. He listens without interrupting, taking notes occasionally. When I finish, he's quiet for a long moment. Then, has your daughter ever expressed concern for your safety? Your health? Anything that might suggest she was worried about you? No, she wanted distance. She said I was too much. That I needed to give her space. When did she say that? She didn't say it directly. But I could tell. The way she sighed when I called. The way she made excuses. He frowns. So she never explicitly asked you to stop visiting? Not until the final phone call. Don't come anymore, Mom. Please. He writes something down. And you went to her apartment once after that call? Yes. Just to talk. To understand. But the guard stopped me. Did you argue with the guard? Raise your voice? Make any threats? No. I just asked him to call up again. To tell her I was there. He said no. So I left. He nods slowly. Here's what I think is happening, he says. And I need you to listen carefully because this is going to sound strange. I lean forward. I don't think your daughter is trying to hurt you. I think she's trying to protect you. Protect me? From what? She's the one who won't let me see my grandson. Exactly. And that's what's strange. In my experience, when an adult child cuts off a parent completely. There's usually one of three reasons: either the parent was abusive, which clearly you weren't, or the parent has serious mental health or addiction issues, which I don't see evidence of, or he pauses, or someone else is pressuring them to cut off contact. Someone who has something to gain from isolating the parent. My blood goes cold. Her husband? Maybe. Or someone else. But someone convinced your daughter that you're a threat, that you need to be kept away, and convinced her thoroughly enough that she was willing to involve the police. But I'm not a threat. I'm her mother. I know that. But someone has made her believe otherwise. And until we figure out who and why, we need to be very careful. He stands up. Right now, you need to go to that police station. I'm coming with you. You're not answering any questions without me present. Understood? I nod, feeling like I'm in a dream. A nightmare. Mr. Young. Minwoo. Call me Minwoo. Minwoo, why are you really doing this? The truth. He looks at me for a long moment. Because when I was 14 and starving and scared, an old woman saw me. Really saw me. And she helped without asking for anything in return. He picks up his briefcase. And because I've seen too many good people destroyed by family legal battles they don't understand. You deserve someone who knows the system. Someone who'll fight for you. What neither of us knows, as we leave his office and head toward the police station, is that we're already too late. The trap has been set for months. And my daughter isn't the one who set it. The Gangnam police station smells like industrial cleaner and desperation. I've never been inside a police station before. 72 years old and never once had any interaction with law enforcement beyond the neighborhood patrol officer, who sometimes bought cucumbers from my stall. Now I'm here as a suspect. The officer who greets us is young, female, professional but not unkind. Mrs. Song? I'm Officer Kong. Thank you for coming in. She notices Minwoo. And you are? Young Minwoo, attorney. I'm representing Mrs. Song. Her eyebrows rise slightly. Mrs. Song, you brought a lawyer? Before I can answer, Minwoo says smoothly, Mrs. Song has every right to legal representation during questioning. Shall we proceed? Officer Kong leads us to an interview room. Small, windowless, a table and 3 chairs. She sits across from us, opens a folder. Mrs. Song, your daughter Park Soo-jin filed a complaint 3 days ago alleging harassment and violation of a no-contact order. Are you aware that a no-contact order was issued against you on August 14th? No, I say. My voice sounds strange. I never received any notice of any order. Officer Kong frowns, checks her papers. According to our records, the order was delivered to your registered address via certified mail. When? August 16th. Someone signed for it. I never received anything. I never signed for anything. Minwoo leans forward. Officer Kong, may I see the delivery receipt? She hesitates, then passes over a paper. Minwoo studies it, then shows it to me. This signature, is this yours? I look at the scrawled name. It's nothing like my handwriting. My name is there, Song Myongwi, but written in someone else's hand. No, that's not my signature. Officer Kang's expression changes slightly. Are you saying someone forged your signature to accept legal documents? I'm saying my client never received this no-contact order, Minwoo says. Which means she couldn't have violated it. You can't violate an order you don't know exists. She went to her daughter's apartment. Once. After a phone call from her daughter. With no knowledge of any legal prohibition. That's not harassment, Officer Kong. That's a mother trying to understand why she's been cut off from her grandchild. Officer Kong is quiet for a moment, reviewing her papers. Mrs. Song, she says finally, your daughter claims you've been making dozens of calls per day, showing up at her workplace, following her. That's not true. The words explode out of me. I called her maybe once a week, if that. I never went to her workplace. I don't even know where it is. Can you provide phone records to support that? Minwoo is already pulling out his phone. We can subpoena her phone records. They'll show the actual frequency of contact. But officer, this is starting to sound less like harassment and more like someone is building a false case against my client. Why would a daughter suddenly claim her mother is stalking her when there's no history of such behavior? Officer Kong doesn't answer, but I can see the wheels turning in her mind. I need to speak with your daughter, she says. Get her side of the story in more detail. Mrs. Song, you're free to go for now, but please don't attempt to contact your daughter or grandson until we've completed our investigation. Am I being charged with something? Not at this time, but I would recommend, she glances at Minwoo, that you continue to work with your attorney. This situation is unusual. Outside, I lean against the building wall, legs shaking. What just happened? I whisper. Minwoo is scrolling through his phone, frowning. What happened is someone is lying. The question is who and why. My daughter wouldn't lie about me. Maybe not intentionally, but someone convinced her to file that complaint. Someone forged your signature on that no-contact order. Someone is working very hard to make you look like a dangerous, unstable person. But why? What would anyone gain from? I stop. Think. Her husband, I say slowly. He never liked me. From the moment they got married, he made it clear I wasn't welcome. Too low class for his family. Tell me about him. Park Jin-hyuk. His family owns a pharmaceutical company. They're wealthy, connected. He's always been controlling. The way he talks to my daughter, it's not right. But she loves him, or she thinks she does, and who am I to? Has he ever been violent toward her? I don't know. She wouldn't tell me if he was. We barely talk anymore. Minwoo is typing something into his phone. Park Jin-hyuk, pharmaceutical family. I'm going to do some research. In the meantime, I need you to write down everything you remember. Every interaction with your daughter over the past year. Every phone call, every visit, every text message. Dates, times, everything. Why? Because if this goes to court, and I think it might, we need to prove you're not who they're making you out to be. We need to show the real pattern, not the fabricated one. Court? Minwoo, I can't afford to go to court. You're not paying me, remember? He looks at me seriously. Mrs. Song, I think your daughter is in trouble. Real trouble. And I think whoever is behind this complaint is trying to isolate her from the one person who might help her. You think it's her husband? I think it's someone who benefits from keeping you away. And in family dynamics, when someone is isolated from their support system, it usually means they're being abused or controlled. My chest tightens. I need to see her. I need to know she's okay. You can't, not until we figure this out. If you violate that order, even though you never officially received it, they could arrest you. And then you definitely can't help her. I close my eyes, feel tears burning behind my eyelids. I spent 40 years protecting her. And now I can't even see her face. You're protecting her right now, Minwoo says gently. By being smart, by not giving them ammunition, by letting me handle the legal side while you gather the truth. That night, I sit at my small kitchen table with a notebook and start writing. Every memory, every interaction. 2023, August. Soojin called, said she was pregnant. I cried. She laughed. We talked about names. 2024, February. Grandson born. I bought him a gold ring. Soojin seemed happy. Her husband was polite but distant. 2024, March 1st. Sunday visit. I brought side dishes, cleaned their kitchen, held the baby while Soojin napped. She thanked me, hugged me goodbye. The memories unspool, page after page, and as I write, a pattern emerges that I didn't see before. Every time things were good between us, every time Soojin seemed happy to see me, grateful for my help, those moments always happened when her husband was at work. When he was home, she was different. Quieter, more distant, apologetic but firm when I tried to stay longer. Mom, you should go. Jin-hyuk will be home soon. I wrote it off as her wanting family time. Privacy. But now, reading my own words back, I see something else. Fear. She was afraid of him finding me there. My phone buzzes. A text message from an unknown number. Stop trying to ruin my family. You're embarrassing yourself and hurting your daughter. Let her go. I stare at the message. Another one comes through. If you keep pushing, you'll never see your grandson again. This is your final warning. My hands shake so badly I almost drop the phone. I call Minwoo. It's 11 p.m., but he answers immediately. Mrs. Song? What's wrong? I read him the messages. Forward them to me. Right now. Screenshot everything. Who would send these? Someone who's getting nervous. Someone who knows we're digging. This is good. Actually, it's evidence of harassment against you, which weakens their case. It doesn't feel good. It feels like a threat. It is a threat, which means we're onto something. I can hear him typing. Mrs. Song, I need you to be very careful. Lock your doors. Don't go anywhere alone if you can help it. And if you receive any more messages or calls, document everything but don't respond. Minwoo, I'm scared. I know. But fear means you're getting close to the truth. And the truth is what will save your daughter. What I don't know, as I sit alone in my apartment, staring at threatening text messages, is that my daughter is sitting in her own apartment, staring at her phone, composing a message she won't send. Mom, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Please stay away. Please stay safe. But she deletes it, because her husband is watching. And she's more afraid of him than she is of losing me. Minwoo calls me 3 days later. I found something. Can you come to my office? I take the bus. Same route as before, but this time I'm looking over my shoulder, aware of every person around me, wondering if someone is following me. The threatening messages have continued. 3 more in the past 2 days. Always from different numbers. Always the same basic message: stay away. Stop causing trouble. You're hurting your daughter. Minwoo's office door is open when I arrive. He looks like he hasn't slept. Sit down, he says. This is going to be hard to hear. My stomach drops. Is my daughter? She's physically fine, as far as I know. But Mrs. Song, I've been digging into your son-in-law's background. Park Jin-hyuk, and there are some things you need to know. He turns his computer screen toward me. It's showing what looks like a financial document. This is a loan application filed 3 months ago by Park Jin-hyuk. He's borrowing against your daughter's name. A lot of money. Millions of won. Why would he need to borrow money? His family is rich. Was rich. The pharmaceutical company is failing. Has been for 2 years. They've been hiding it, propping up the appearance of success, but the reality is they're drowning in debt. I stare at the numbers on the screen. Jin-hyuk's father borrowed against everything: the house, the cars, even his children's future inheritance. And when that wasn't enough, Jin-hyuk started borrowing against his own marriage. Your daughter's credit, her assets, everything she has in her name. Soojin doesn't have assets. She has her salary from work, but she has a trust fund. Did you know that? I blink. No. How would she have a trust fund? I never had money to. It's not from you. Minwoo pulls up another document. It's from your husband, her father. The room spins. Her father left, disappeared. That was 40 years ago. He died 5 years ago. In Saudi Arabia. And before he died, he set up a trust fund for your daughter. Apparently, he had been more successful than you knew. Felt guilty for abandoning you both. The trust matured when she turned 32 years ago. My mind is reeling. Soojin never told me. She may not have wanted to hurt you. Bringing up her father, the money he left, when you struggled so hard to raise her alone. How much? I whisper. 200 million won. I grip the edge of the desk. 200 million. More money than I've seen in my entire life. And Jin-hyuk knows about it? He's the one who told her about it. He was the one who helped her claim it when they got married. Minwoo's voice is grim, and he's been systematically draining it ever since. Investments that went bad, business ventures that failed, and now, direct loans against her name. That's why he wants me gone, I say slowly. I would ask questions. I would notice if she seemed stressed about money. I would. You would protect her, like you always have. And he can't have that. Minwoo closes his laptop. Mrs. Song, I think your daughter isn't just being controlled. I think she's being financially abused. Possibly emotionally abused too. The isolation from you, the sudden no contact order, the harassment complaints, it's all part of a pattern to keep her alone and dependent. We have to tell her. We have to. We can't just tell her. Abuse victims often defend their abusers, especially when family money is involved. She might not believe us. Might think we're trying to destroy her marriage. Then what do we do? Minwoo is quiet for a long moment. We build a case. Document everything. Get proof that he's manipulating her, forging signatures, making false complaints. And then we present it all at once, in a way she can't deny. That could take months. I know. But if we move too fast, he'll cover his tracks. Or worse, escalate. Escalate how? Abuse always escalates when the abuser feels threatened. Right now, he thinks he's won. He's isolated your daughter from you. He's got control of her finances. He's convinced the police you're the problem. If he realizes we're onto him. He doesn't finish the sentence. He doesn't need to. I go home in a daze. My daughter's father. The man who abandoned us. He set up a trust fund. 200 million won. For 40 years, I broke my back at that market. Sold vegetables in the rain and snow. Lived in basement apartments and wore second-hand clothes. Sent her to university by selling the one thing I'd built with my own hands. All while her father's money sat in a bank account somewhere, waiting. She never told me. Maybe she was ashamed. Maybe she thought I'd be angry. Maybe she didn't want me to feel like my sacrifices didn't matter, when her father's guilt money dwarfed everything I'd ever been able to give her. Or maybe her husband told her not to tell me. That sounds more likely now. Keep the old woman in the dark. Keep her thinking she's poor and powerless. Keep her away while we drain everyone from your account. I sit in my apartment, looking at the photos on my wall. My daughter at her wedding, smiling so brightly. Her husband beside her, handsome and successful looking. I remember thinking finally, she'll be taken care of. Finally, she'll have the security I never could give her. I delivered her to a predator. Gift wrapped with a mother's blind love. Minwoo calls again the next morning. I need you to do something difficult, he says without preamble. What? I need you to go to your daughter's workplace. To try to see her. But you said. I know what I said. But I've been thinking. We need to force their hand. Make Jinhyuk think you're spiraling, becoming desperate. That way, he might make a mistake. Get sloppy. You want me to be bait. I want you to be visible. Insistent. Everything he's been accusing you of harassment, stalking, I need you to act the part just enough to make him nervous. And if he calls the police again? Then we have evidence that he's using the police to control your daughter's relationships. Evidence of manipulation. It's a risk, but I'll do it, Mrs. Song. I'll do it. She's my daughter. If there's a chance this will help her, I'll do anything. There's a long pause. Thank you, he says quietly. Go to her office tomorrow. Lunchtime. Try to talk to her. Be gentle, be concerned, be everything you naturally are. But make sure her husband finds out about it. How will he find out? Trust me, he's watching her. He'll know. My daughter works at a marketing firm in Gangnam. I've never visited before. She always said it was too busy, too far, too complicated to arrange. Now I understand. She was keeping me away. Or being kept away. I arrive at 11:30 a.m. The building is sleek, modern, all glass and steel. So different from the market stalls I know. The receptionist looks at me like I'm lost. Can I help you? I'm here to see Park Sujin. I'm her mother. The receptionist's expression shifts. Pity, maybe. Or recognition. One moment, please. She makes a phone call. Speaks quietly. Hangs up. Mrs. Park says she's in a meeting. She can't come down right now. I'll wait. It might be a long meeting. I'll wait. I sit in the lobby. Watch people come and go. Young professionals in expensive clothes, carrying expensive bags, living expensive lives. My daughter is one of them now. 30 minutes pass. An hour. Then I see her, coming down the hallway toward the lobby. She's thinner than I remember. Hair perfectly styled. Makeup flawless. But her eyes look exhausted. Mom. Her voice is flat. What are you doing here? I needed to see you. To talk to you. Sujin, please, just give me 5 minutes. I can't. She glances back over her shoulder. Mom, you need to leave. You're going to get me in trouble. Trouble with who? With your husband? Her face goes white. Please leave. Not until you tell me what's happening. Not until you look me in the eye and tell me you're okay. I'm fine. You're not fine. You're scared. I can see it. You're afraid of something, or someone, and you won't let me help you. Because you can't help me. The words explode out of her. Loud enough that people in the lobby turn to stare. Mom, you can't fix everything with vegetables and side dishes and old-fashioned love. This is my life, my marriage, and you need to let me live it. The words hit like slaps. Did he tell you to say that? I whisper. Her eyes widen. Just for a second. Just enough. Go home, Mom. Sujin, go home, please, before you make everything worse. She turns and walks away. I stand there in the lobby, tears running down my face, while strangers avert their eyes and pretend not to see an old woman's humiliation. What I don't see, as I leave the building, my daughter collapsing in the bathroom. Sobbing into her hands, texting the one person she shouldn't trust, her husband. Mom came to my office. Just like you said she would. I did what you asked. I sent her away. His response comes immediately, good girl. See? This is why we had to get that restraining order. She's obsessed, unstable. She stares at the text. Wanting to believe him, needing to believe him, because if she doesn't, then everything she's sacrificed, her relationship with her mother, her grandmother's access to her son, her own sense of self, has been for nothing. I don't hear from Minwoo for 3 days after the office encounter. 3 days of silence, of waiting, of wondering if I've made everything worse. Then, at 4 a.m. on a Thursday morning, my phone rings. Mrs. Song, it's Minwoo. I need you to come to my office. Right now. It's 4 in the morning. I know. This can't wait. Please. I'll send a car for you. 20 minutes later, I'm in a black sedan driven by someone I don't know, heading toward Gangnam through empty streets. Minwoo's office lights are on. He's not alone, there's a woman with him. Mid-40s, professional looking, with an air of authority. Mrs. Song, this is Detective Kim from the Financial Crimes Unit. My blood goes cold. Financial crimes. Please sit down, Detective Kim says. Her voice is kind but firm. We need to talk about your daughter. Is she? She's physically safe, but she's in serious legal trouble. And so is her husband. Minwoo hands me a cup of tea I didn't ask for. I take it because my hands need something to hold. A week ago, Detective Kim says, we received an anonymous tip about fraudulent loan applications being filed under false pretenses. Your daughter's name appeared on several of these applications. She didn't know, I say immediately. Her husband, we know. We've been investigating Park Jin-hyuk for 6 months. The loan applications, the forged signatures, the identity theft, it's all him. But legally, your daughter is complicit unless we can prove she didn't consent. Of course she didn't consent. Can you prove that? Because right now, her signature is on documents. Her bank account received the loan money. From the outside, it looks like she was involved. My mind is racing. The anonymous tip, Minwoo says quietly. It came from your daughter. I stare at him. 3 weeks ago, she sent a detailed report to the police, listing every fraudulent loan, every forged signature, every suspicious transaction. She included bank statements, contracts, text messages, everything. She was trying to stop him, Detective Kim continues. But she was afraid he'd find out, afraid of what he'd do. So she sent the tip anonymously. Then why is she still with him? Why did she? Because he found out anyway, Minwoo says. Not about the police tip, but about her planning to leave him. And that's when he escalated. Detective Kim opens a folder. Shows me photos. Bruises. Hidden under makeup. On my daughter's arms, her back, her ribs. She came to the hospital 2 weeks ago, Detective Kim says. Said she fell. The doctor didn't believe her. But she refused to file a report. Refused to name her abuser. I can't breathe. Can't speak. My daughter. My baby. Someone hurt her and I didn't know. The restraining order against you, Minwoo says. The harassment complaints. The no contact order. None of it was her idea. He did it all. Forged her signature, just like he forged it on the loans. Made it look like she was the one filing complaints against you. Why? To isolate her completely. You were her last connection to the outside world. Her last potential source of help. So he cut you off. Detective Kim leans forward. Mrs. Song, we're going to arrest Park Jin-hyuk today, but we need your daughter to testify against him. And right now, she's too afraid. She thinks if she cooperates, he'll hurt her. Or hurt your grandson. Then protect her. Protect them both. We will. But she has to agree to protection first. She has to agree to leave him. And she won't. Every time we've approached her, she's refused. She needs to hear it from you, Minwoo says. She needs to know you're not angry. That you still love her. That you'll support her no matter what. Of course my voice breaks. Of course I'll support her. She's my daughter. How could she think otherwise? Because he's been telling her you hate her. That you think she's weak. That you're ashamed of her. Detective Kim's voice is gentle. Abusers are very good at rewriting reality. How'd I talk to her? I whisper. She won't see me. He won't let her. There's a window, Detective Kim says. Every Thursday morning, she takes your grandson to the market. Gwangjang Market. Your old stall. My heart stops. She goes to my stall? The new owner says a young woman comes every Thursday around 6 a.m. before work. Buys vegetables. Sometimes she just stands there for a while, looking around. The owner asked her once if she was looking for someone. She said no, she was looking for me. Every Thursday. For how long? This Thursday tomorrow we're going to be watching, Detective Kim says. Plainclothes officers in the market. Ready to intervene if her husband shows up. But we need you there. We need you to talk to her. What do I say? The truth, Minwoo says simply. Tell her you love her. Tell her you know what's been happening. Tell her it's not her fault. And tell her you'll be there, no matter what she decides. Thursday morning, 5:30 a.m. I arrive at Gwangjang Market as the vendors are setting up. The market I worked in for 40 years. The market I raised my daughter in, carrying her on my back while I sold vegetables to support us both. It looks different now. New vendors, new stalls. But the rhythm is the same. The hum of commerce. The smell of morning fish and fresh produce and possibility. I go to my old stall. The one I sold to send my daughter to university. The new owner recognizes me. Mrs. Lee, younger than me by a decade, but old enough to remember. Myung-hee SSI. It's been so long. Has a young woman been coming here? With a child? Ah, yes. Every Thursday. She buys vegetables but never much. I think she just likes being here. Mrs. Lee looks at me curiously. Is she your daughter? Yes. She looks like you. Same eyes. Same way of holding her shoulders. I wait. 6 a.m. comes and goes. Maybe she's not coming today. Maybe. Then I see her, walking through the market entrance. My grandson's hand in hers. She looks so tired, so much older than 28. Wearing professional clothes but somehow diminished in them, like she's playing dress up in someone else's life. She doesn't see me at first. I watch her walk through the market. Watch how she pauses at certain stalls, touches certain vegetables, remembers. This was her childhood. These were her after-school hours, helping me set up, tear down, count money. She approaches Mrs. Lee's stall, my old stall, and sees me. She freezes. For a long moment, we just look at each other. Then my grandson, 6 years old now, so big, so beautiful, says, "Grandma?" He doesn't remember me. How could he? It's been so long. But somehow, he knows. Yes, I say, my voice shaking. Yes, sweetheart, I'm your grandma. He looks up at his mother. This is the grandma you told me about? The one with the magic hands that could make anything grow? My daughter's eyes fill with tears. Yes, she whispers. That's her. I take a step forward. Then another. Sujin, I say. I know. She flinches. I know what he's been doing. I know you tried to stop him. I know you're afraid. And I know, my voice breaks. I know you've been protecting me. Pushing me away to keep me safe from him. A tear spills down her cheek. Mom, you don't have to carry this alone anymore. Please, let me help you. You can't help me. It's too late. The loans, the police, everything. I'm going to prison, Mom. And he made sure you won't be there to take care of Ji-hoon when I'm gone. You're not going to prison. The police know it was him. They know you were a victim. But they need you to testify. I can't. If I do, he'll what? Hurt you worse than he already has? I gently take her arm, roll up her sleeve. The bruise there is fading but still visible. I saw the photos, baby. I saw what he did to you. She pulls her arm away, covering it quickly. Glancing around to make sure no one else saw. Mom, please, not here, not in front of Ji-hoon. Then where? When? You won't see me, won't talk to me, won't let me into your life because he's convinced you that I'm the danger. But I'm not the one who hurt you, Sujin. I never was. She's crying openly now. I thought I was protecting you, she whispers. He said you were getting too old, too fragile. That stress could kill you. He said if I kept you in my life, you'd get caught up in his problems, the financial problems, and you'd lose everything. So I pushed you away. I thought, her voice breaks. I thought if you hated me, at least you'd be safe. I pull her into my arms. She resists for a second, then collapses against me, sobbing. Around us, the market continues. Vendors selling their goods, customers haggling, life going on. But in this moment, it's just us. Mother and daughter. Finally together. I don't hate you. I whisper into her hair. I could never hate you. You're my daughter, my whole world, and I'm here. I'm always here. What do I do, Mom? What do I do? You tell the truth. You let the police help you. You leave him, and you let me take care of you and Ji-hoon while you rebuild. I don't have anywhere to go. You come home, to my apartment. It's small and it smells like the market, and it's not what you're used to. But it's safe, and it's yours. She pulls back, looks at me with red, swollen eyes. Why? After everything I did to you. After I pushed you away and filed complaints and you didn't do those things. He did, and even if you had, I cup her face in my hands. You're my daughter. There's nothing you could do that would make me stop loving you. Nothing. I don't see him at first. Park Jin-hyuk, standing at the edge of the market, watching, face twisted with rage. Detective Kim sees him though. And as he starts toward us, phone in hand probably to call more complaints or threats, she steps into his path. Park Jin-hyuk, you're under arrest for fraud, identity theft, forgery, and domestic violence. The last chapter is about to begin. The arrest happens quickly. Park Jin-hyuk tries to fight, tries to argue, tries to claim his wife is lying, that I'm putting ideas in her head, that this is all a misunderstanding. But the evidence speaks louder than his protests. Forged signatures, bank records, hospital reports, the anonymous tip that came from my daughter's own hand, documenting everything. He's led away in handcuffs, still shouting threats, still trying to maintain control even as it slips through his fingers. My daughter watches him go. She doesn't look victorious, doesn't look relieved. She looks exhausted. It's really over? She whispers. The legal part is just beginning, Detective Kim says gently. But yes, you're safe now, both of you. My grandson has been holding onto his mother's leg, confused by the chaos. I kneel down beside him. Hi, sweetheart, it's okay. Everything's okay now. He looks at me with solemn eyes. Are you really my grandma? I really am. Mom says you used to grow magic vegetables. I laugh despite the tears. Not magic, just regular vegetables. But I grew them with a lot of love. Can you teach me? Yes, I would love to teach you. My daughter and grandson have been living with me for 6 months now. It's cramped. 3 people in a one-room apartment near the market. We're crowded and sometimes we get on each other's nerves and the walls are thin and the neighbors are nosy. But we're together. Sujin is working again. A new job, lower pay, but honest work that doesn't come with strings attached. She's in therapy, working through the trauma of her marriage. Some days are hard. Some days she cries and can't get out of bed. But she's healing. Jihoon is in 1st grade. He comes to the market with me after school sometimes, helps me arrange vegetables, learns the prices, charms the customers with his gap-toothed smile. He's teaching me things too. About dinosaurs and video games and all the things 6-year-olds find fascinating. The trial is coming up. Jin Hyuk's family is throwing money at lawyers, trying to reduce the charges, trying to make my daughter look like an accomplice instead of a victim. But Minwoo is confident. The evidence is overwhelming. The truth is clear. And more importantly, Sujin is ready to speak it. I think about that phone call sometimes. Don't come anymore, Mom. Please. 5 words that destroyed me. 5 words that turned out to mean something completely different from what I thought. Not, I don't want you, but I'm protecting you. Not, you're a burden, but you're in danger and I can't bear to lose you too. It's strange how the same words can carry such different meanings depending on the silence around them. I wish I had known earlier. Wish I had pushed harder, questioned more, refused to accept the distance. But then I think maybe this is how it had to happen. Maybe my daughter needed to save herself before I could save her. Maybe being pushed away was what finally made her see clearly enough to ask for help. Or maybe I'm just telling myself stories to make sense of the pain. Either way, we're here now. Together. And that's what matters. This morning, Sujin made breakfast. Nothing fancy. Just rice and kimchi and fried eggs. But she made it with her own hands, in our tiny kitchen, while Jihoon set the table. We ate together. A real family meal. Afterward, she looked at me and said, Mom, I'm sorry. For everything. For not trusting you. For pushing you away. Stop, I said gently. We don't need to keep apologizing to each other. We just need to keep moving forward. How do you always know the right thing to say? I don't. I'm making it up as I go along. Just like every other mother. She smiled. A real smile. The first I've seen in years. I love you, Mom. I love you too, baby. And in that moment, in that cramped apartment that smells like kimchi and market vegetables and life, I think. This is enough. This is more than enough. This is everything.